Simon Cowell, known for his sharp tongue and no-nonsense approach on television, has undergone a noticeable transformation in recent years, and much of it can be attributed to his role as a father. In 2014, Simon welcomed his son Eric into the world, and the experience completely shifted his perspective on life. The notoriously private Cowell, who had once been known for his detached, blunt demeanor, began showing a more vulnerable side. His love for Eric, who he named after his late father, became the driving force in his life. And for the first time, Simon seemed to focus more on personal fulfillment than public success. He spoke of fatherhood as a deeply grounding experience, one that gave him new purpose, and his actions followed suit, choosing to prioritize his family over the demands of fame. The shift in Simon's public persona. For decades, Simon Cowell was a fixture on television, renowned for his sharp wit and unfiltered criticism. As a judge on American Idol and Britain's Got Talent, his frank and often harsh comments helped define the shows and make him a household name. However, as time passed, fans began to notice subtle changes in his public demeanor. No longer the biting critic he once was, Simon started to choose his words more carefully and seem more empathetic, especially when it came to children. His softened approach sparked curiosity and led many to speculate about the reasons behind this shift. Was it simply aging, or had something more profound, like fatherhood, led to his more introspective and thoughtful behavior? Simon's changing attitude towards family. One of the most striking changes in Simon's life has been his increased focus on his family, particularly his son Eric. Where once Simon was known for his frequent media appearances and high-profile projects, he began stepping back from the spotlight to be more present at home. This shift became especially noticeable after his back injury in 2020, which forced him to take a break from his demanding schedule. Rather than focusing on ratings or the next big television deal, Simon started to prioritize family time, especially with Eric. His decision to reduce his professional commitments and spend more time with his son showed a man whose priorities had shifted away from fame and towards family. The mystery surrounding Eric's health. While Simon has spoken openly about the joy fatherhood has brought him, there has been little discussion surrounding his son Eric's well-being. Fans, ever watchful of Simon's every move, began to notice the absence of public updates or playful moments shared between father and son. Some speculated that Simon might be keeping Eric away from the limelight to protect him from the pressures of fame. Others wondered if Eric might be facing personal challenges, perhaps even developmental delays, though no official confirmation has ever come from Simon's camp. What's most telling, however, is Simon's guardedness when discussing Eric. His protective nature and soft-spoken words reflect the deep love he feels for his son, and the silence surrounding Eric's life only adds to the mystery. Simon Cowell's early life and career path. Simon Cowell's journey to fame was anything but conventional. Born in 1959 in Lambeth, London, Simon grew up in a family that valued appearances and status. His father, Eric Cowell, was a music executive, and his mother, Julie Brett, was a socialite. Despite the privilege Simon enjoyed, his childhood was marked by personal struggles, particularly with school. He was expelled from Dover College for a series of pranks, and his academic performance was poor. Simon found it hard to fit into the rigid systems of authority and instead chose to forge his own path. After a series of odd jobs, he found his place in the music industry, working his way up the ranks at EMI, where he gained invaluable insight into the business side of the entertainment world. Simon's breakthrough: American Idol and global stardom. Simon's big break came with American Idol in the early 2000s, where his reputation as a blunt and sometimes brutal judge made him a household name. His no-nonsense style, paired with his sharp wit, quickly endeared him to audiences. Simon's ability to break down a performance with a single comment became his trademark, and it wasn't long before he became the face of not just American Idol, but also Britain's Got Talent and other international franchises. His brutal honesty earned him both adoration and criticism, but it was undeniable. Simon was one of the most influential figures in reality television. His rise to power in the entertainment industry solidified his place as a key player in shaping modern television. Becoming a father, a life-altering moment. Simon Cowell had always been famously private about his personal life, particularly when it came to relationships and family. However, everything changed when he became a father in 2014. The birth of his son, Eric, marked a significant turning point in Simon's life. For the first time, he spoke about his deep desire to be a father, something that had not been part of his previous public persona. The experience of becoming a parent grounded Simon, and he often spoke about how it gave him a new sense of purpose. The arrival of Eric also sparked a shift in Simon's priorities, and for the first time, his focus was no longer solely on his career, but also on his role as a father. Simon's relationship with Lauren Silverman, which began in 2013, was not without controversy. The couple's romance made headlines, not just because of the public scrutiny, but also due to the fact that Lauren was still married when the news broke. Despite the scandal, Simon and Lauren's relationship blossomed, and in 2014, they welcomed their son, Eric. Simon, who had once been outspoken about not wanting children, found himself overwhelmed with joy and love for his son. The birth of Eric brought a new level of vulnerability to Simon, and for the first time, he spoke openly about how much becoming a father had changed him. In the years that followed, Simon seemed to embrace his role as a father with a quiet intensity, often choosing to keep his family life out of the spotlight. The quiet exit, Simon Cowell's shift in priorities. In recent years, Simon Cowell has chosen to step back from the relentless pace of his career. The shift has been gradual, but it's clear that Simon is no longer chasing the same level of fame or success he once did. In 2020, after a serious back injury, Simon took time off to rest and recover. During this period, he found himself reevaluating his life and priorities. He spent more time at home with Eric, and his professional commitments began to take a back seat. Simon, once synonymous with media appearances and red carpet events, became less visible. This change in Simon's behavior did not go unnoticed. Fans began to wonder if something more personal was at play, but Simon never publicly addressed the rumors. Simon's protective nature towards Eric. Simon's decision to shield his son from the public eye has led to speculation about Eric's health and well-being. While Simon has never confirmed any details, fans have noticed that Simon is deeply protective of his son. Rare glimpses of Eric in public, such as during family events or backstage moments, show Simon being attentive and present. However, the absence of Eric from Simon's public life has raised questions. Some fans have speculated that Eric may be facing personal challenges, including developmental concerns, though nothing has been confirmed. What is clear, however, is that Simon's protective instincts as a father have taken precedence over his need for public attention, and his silence speaks volumes about how much he values his family's privacy. The legacy Simon Cowell wants to leave behind. In a rare interview in 2021, Simon was asked about the legacy he wanted to leave behind. His response was strikingly simple. He just wanted Eric to be proud of him. This statement marked a significant departure from the Simon Cowell, known for his razor-sharp comments and cutthroat professionalism. Instead of talking about career achievements or public recognition, Simon focused on what truly mattered to him: being a good father. This shift in priorities reflected a deeper understanding of what success really meant to him. It wasn't about ratings, fame, or accolades. It was about the love and respect of his son. And that is the legacy Simon Cowell now seeks to build.